this is Mari Lane from the Buying Space channel. It's the first night of Hanukkah. It's Sunday. And I was led to look through this Torah. I've been reading from Genesis in this Torah. And here's the Hebrew on this side and the English on this side. In the back, they have several books of the Bible. They don't call them books of the Bible. They'll say Haftarah instead of book. So this is the Haftarah of Jeremiah. So there's several other books. The book of Esther is in here, but not all of the Old Testament books that would be in an Old Testament, as we Christians call it. But I came upon, in the very back, there were some services and songs, and there's a big section that's just completely in Hebrew. But this section is completely appropriate for Hanukkah. And it's like on the Sabbath, on Hanukkah, or I guess during Hanukkah, add, we thank thee also for miracles and for redemption, and for the mighty deeds and saving acts wrought by thee, as well as for wars which thou didst wage for our fathers in the days of old. At this season, in the days of Hashemaniah, Matthias, son of Jonanan, the high priest, and his sons, when the inquisitive power of Greece rose up against thy people Israel to make them forfeit of thy law, and to force them to transgress against the statutes of thy will, and didst thou in thine abundant mercy rise up for them in the time of their trouble. Thou didst please their cause, thou didst judge their suit, thou didst avenge their wrong. Thou divertest the strong into the hands of the weak, deliverest the strong into the hands of the weak, and many into the hands of the few, the impure into the hands of the pure, the wicked into the hands of the righteous, and the arrogant into the hands of them that occupy themselves with thy law. And therefore, for thyself thou didst make a great and holy name in thy world, and for thy people Israel thou didst work a great deliverance and redemption, as this day. And thereupon thy children came into the oracle of thy house, cleansed the temple, purified thy sanctuary, kindled lights in thy holy courts, and appointed these 8 days of Hanukkah, in order to give thanks and praise unto thy great name. For all these things thy name, O our King, shall be continually blessed and exalted forever and ever. So that's right out of a Torah, and what they would say in the services during Hanukkah. And Hanukkah came about when Greek and I think the Assyrians were attacking Israel, and they lit the lamps of the menorah, and they only had enough oil for one day, and they stayed lit for 8 days. That's why they call it the Festival of Lights. It was the miracle of Hanukkah and the lamps staying lit so they could continue to protect themselves. And it was right after the time that Alexander the Great had passed. So that's the time of history, and it was, and the people that took over were trying to take over, were at war with each other. I might say a little bit more about that, but it wasn't Alexander the Great that was attacking. It was the people that were attempting to take power after Alexander the Great passed, because he had such a huge territory and everyone feared him, and there was law and order prior to his passing. But after he passed, there became chaos, and people were trying to grab land and power, and war ensued, probably in more territories than in Israel. I'd have to do more study to say more about it. I don't know what direction I'll go in this week with it, but I might get to that part of the history, and I might not. The Lord will lead me. I have quite a bit of things to do in my personal life, so I just want to go ahead and share what the rabbis say, or can say, in addition to their regular Sabbath, the services they have during Hanukkah. Have a wonderful and blessed day, everyone.